Welcome to your 7th web scraping tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be getting more than one price at the same time. So, what we've been doing in past tutorials is we've been getting just the last price. But what we want to do is get the prices for the whole day. So what the price was 1 minute ago, what the price was 2 minutes ago, and somewhere you might go to get this would be a chart, because you can see what the price was for the entire day. So here, on this Apple Mountain chart, we can see the price at the beginning of the day was 469.2, and at the end of the day, it was 460.25. So this chart, it looks like it has quite a bit of data for the entire day. And we actually want to get this data. So click on the chart, right click, and we see Adobe Flash Player. And the bad thing about this is that we can't see the source code of this chart. And this little number up here, we can't actually inspect the element because it's Flash. So we're going to have to find another way to get data from this chart. But first, I'm going to go to Google Finance. Let's go to a bunch of different places and see if we can find any chart that gives us some data, because we know that charts have the data from the entire day. So we'll go to a one-day chart, and it looks pretty similar to the Yahoo chart. So we'll right-click, and we find this one is Adobe Flash Player too. Let's try Bloomberg. Try Apple. And here we have another chart. Looks similar to the last chart. Right click. Bingo. It's not a Adobe Flash Player chart. So we can actually inspect the element, and wow, look at this. We have all this data here for the entire day. So it looks like it's path. Path is the name of the tag. So we can copy this. Now we'll go to our file, and we will paste that line into there. Next, we get this URL. And we will paste it into our URL open. And then we'll say regex equals, we can use single quotes, go down to the end, put another single quote, back to the beginning. And in order to get from the end to the beginning, you use the home and the end button on your keyboard. So path d equals m -10. And it looks like these numbers here are the data. Maybe not. I don't know why they're 44.3. Let's see if we can't find the actual prices. Pie charts. Tooltip? No. This is interesting. It doesn't look like this data actually corresponds to the price of Apple. It looks like these are just coordinates for their chart. But somehow it's getting this price here. So we'll inspect that element. Here we can see so this data, it looks like it's just some sort of a function that they use to draw the chart. It's not actually a price data. So why don't we try looking at the network tab, and we'll refresh the page, and as we can see, here's our chart, and just delete everything so that it's new. and then we'll just click on 1M and see if it downloads anything new from the server. And it did. It downloaded what looks like a lot of data. Oh wow, it's price data. That's excellent. So let's go back to 1D. Here's the one for 1D. Click and get the request header here, copy that, and go back to our preview. It looks like it gives us JSON data of price, and this is probably an epoch timestamp. And if you don't know what epoch is like the milliseconds since the epoch, and apparently the epoch was in 1970. But it's just a way that people put timestamps, or servers give you timestamps. So, what was the price of Apple? The last price, 460.160. We'll just do Control F, 460.16. Wow. And here we go. The very last element of this JSON array is 460.16. So we'll just copy this URL and paste this into there. And we don't actually need the regex anymore because we found a JSON representation of that data. Because I'm sure if this path was all we had, these data points to draw their chart, we could probably write some function to decode these to timestamp and price. But we don't really want to put in more work than we have to right now. So let's just say, go to the end of the file, data equals json.load HTML text. Wow, we already have most of this written from the last tutorial. So we'll just print data for now, and then we have to find out what key to use. Alt P, and we printed out all of our data. And it looks like the key is the previous close, precision, exchange close, data values. So it's kind of hard to see, but over on this very end of the line, there's a new quote and then data values. So we'll just copy data values, and that will be our key. So just paste data values in there, Alt P again, and it prints out. It should have printed out just the data values, and it did, which is great. So let's just do let's just set data values equal to this. So data points equals to this, and then we'll do print data points of 0. And it should print just the first element of this array. But we want the last element, so we'll do len of data points minus 1. And then run the file. 460.16 happens to be our tuple of price and time, and we want not the 0th element, we want the first element, so we'll put in 1. And let's see if this gives it. Yep, we get 460.16. And we don't actually want to print just that one price. We want to print all the prices for the entire day. So we can say, I'll just comment this for now. Use a for loop. For point in data points print data points of, actually we don't need to do that. That would be for while loop. We can just say print point of 1. And this should loop through the entire array and print out all of the closing prices for each minute throughout the day. And at the very end, why don't we just print the number of points is len of data points, just so I can see how many points there are in the array. I don't know if it's minutely data, 5-minutely. So we know it's for 1 day. So let's try this out. And wow, it printed out all of the points. And the market, I think, is open for 8 hours. So 8 times 60. 391. I don't know, I think there should be more minutes. Let's see here. 129, 34, 33, 32, 30. It looks like this is 1 minute data. 24. Yeah, it looks like 1 minute data to me because the chart is 1 minute data. And let's see if there's any information down here. Precision is 3. Precision is 3 minute data. So that makes sense, I guess. I think these timestamps aren't exactly on the minute. I think they are a little bit off because they're free. But what we have here is a program that can print out every stock price for Apple for this entire day, which is pretty cool. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to be going over writing this data to a file, and we're going to be saving the data from multiple symbols to a file for the entire day. So today we went over finding more than one stock price at the same time. So instead of finding just the last price, I found the price for Apple for the entire day in 1 minute tick data. And then we read that tick data, and we printed out just the closing prices. And I could write this to a database, I could save this to a file, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next tutorial. So thank you for watching your 7th web scraping tutorial.